my name's Chris and you're watching Font of Inspiration. Today I'll be talking about misses and why describing them is important for role-playing games, especially if you're running a game. Now that's not to say that players shouldn't describe their misses too, but I'll mainly be focusing on GMs in this video. So just saying that an enemy misses removes any excitement or impact that the turn might otherwise have had. I mean, just compare these two approaches. Okay, the first goblin misses, and the second goblin also misses. Okay, your turn. Let's see. Okay, here's what happens. The first goblin, the one with the bleeding cut on his head, he tries to hit you with an arrow but instead bursts open a sack of flour behind you. And the second goblin, he tries to knock an arrow too, but ends up fumbling and dropping the arrow to the ground. What do? Now, using D&D as the game system here, both of these situations describe two goblins who rolled a 12 and a 1 respectively, against a character with an arm class of 15. Now, which one of these two is more interesting? Don't get me wrong. If your group prefers the he hits, he misses type of thing, that's fine. Go with it. I'm just saying, wouldn't it be cool if you could make your players remember the misses also, not just the hits? Remember that you can use the scale of the miss to direct your description. For instance, an attack that misses by only 1 is gonna almost hit the character, whereas an attack that misses by, say, 5 or more, that's gonna miss by a wide margin. Also, by describing the sack of flour bursting open, I created an environmental factor that the players might use to their advantage. Maybe one of the characters scoops up a handful of flour and just throws it into a goblin's face. It's little descriptions like this that may possibly create a sort of environmental seed, for lack of a better word, that the players can then turn into something cooler if they wish. Then again, if they don't, you didn't lose anything by presenting them with the option. Now, I'm not saying that you should have a paragraph of description for every miss in the game, but just think of it this way. Are your players going to be more invested and therefore paying more attention when you're describing something vivid happening to the characters or the environment, or when you're simply reporting a binary success-failure result? These types of colorful descriptions keep a certain flow going to the combat. Too often, combat is like a car in the hands of an inexperienced driver. It's start, stop, that kind of thing. By keeping a little bit of narration going in the background at all times, you're removing those lulls to an effect. On another and final note, when it comes to your players achieving the killing blow, let them describe it. Why? Because it flexes their creative muscles. Plus, it gives them a sense of agency when they decide how an enemy is going to die, if they die at all. You never know, a player might decide to knock an enemy unconscious, or create a Bilbo versus Gollum situation where they stay their hand out of pity or something. The important thing is to give the players a choice when it comes to matters of life and death. Make the players realize that they're about to kill another creature, and that they have to live with that decision. And that's all I have for you today. Let me know in the comments how you describe combat, whether it's hits, misses, whatever. Leave a video response if you're really daring. Those are always appreciated and welcome. Anyway, that's it for me for today. Thank you for watching and see you later.